You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another deep dive episode of Unstoppable Actors, where we are looking at the 2 performance distractions actors need to steer clear of if you are going to generate those truthful, authentic, enjoyable performances. Enjoyable for both you and the audience. Really important that we remember that we act because we love it as well. If you're new to the podcast, thank you so much for finding us, whether it be on Audible, Spotify, our website. I'm so excited and happy that you are here, because this is the start of you up-leveling and upgrading your performances to a level you didn't even think was possible. If you're returning as a regular listener, I am so excited you are here tuning into another episode. I absolutely love having you here, and I'm even more excited to share with you that a brand new course that I've created that is free for the first 500 actors before it turns paid is being released very, very soon, as in super soon. If you're listening to this episode in September or later of 2024, it's probably already been released. If you're listening in August of 2024, it has been released so soon. You need to come and join the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group to be one of the first to hear about it. I've left the link underneath the episode for you. The course, if you're interested, is called The Nerve Destroyer, Lose Yourself in the Role, a complete training for new and early career actors. And I highly recommend you grab one of those 500 free places before it turns paid, because you will literally be kicking yourself once those 500 places have gone. So don't procrastinate on it, because it's incredible. There's 7 modules of learning in it. So exciting. I've had so much fun putting it together for you. I want to ask you a question. If you've been acting for any amount of time, and you might be new to this, so school performances might be what you've got experience in. You might be returning to the industry, so maybe you did performances, professional ones a while ago, or maybe you are an early career actor who's regularly auditioning. Whatever level you're at, you've got some form of experience with performances. So have you ever been in a performance and the audience have roared with laughter one night, and then the next night this new audience didn't, and all of a sudden everyone backstage is talking about how no one is laughing, which then leads you to believe that the performance is going, quite frankly, rubbish? Or have you ever done a performance or even prepared an audition, and then when you come to it, the lines completely evaporate? And even though you somehow manage to claw back the lines and claw your way through the performance, your focus on the lines that you've forgotten is really playing with you. And you are giving yourself a hard time that the performance was rubbish because you forgot either this one line or a multitude of lines. New and early career actors get caught up in the wrong things. It's understandable. We want validation. What actor doesn't? We want to know that we're getting things right. And let's even think about this beyond actors. No human on the planet, whatever their job is, whatever their task is, wants to feel they've done a crappy job. We all want to feel we're getting something right. But when we focus on these 2 things, audiences and what their responses are, lines and forgetting them, you're sealing your fate as an actor. You're kind of sealing how the performance goes without even realising it. And I'm going to unpack this more so you understand where I'm going with this. But there's one thing you need to know. We'll start with audiences first. You can have an audience who doesn't laugh and still have given an incredible performance. You can forget your lines and still give an incredible performance. You're critiquing yourself on the wrong things. you're doing this because underneath all of this, there's a fear. It's either conscious or unconscious. Conscious means we're aware of it. We can hear the inner monologue. Unconscious means we're not aware of it. We can't hear the inner monologue. But that fear, unconscious or conscious, is that you're not good enough. And if we take this fear of you not being good enough and unpack it, we can put it on a worry scale. And this worry scale starts at 1 and ends in 10. 1 means it's barely noticeable, this I'm not good enough fear. 10 means it's completely taking over. So when you are focusing your attention on how the audience is reacting, or that line that you missed, where on the I'm not good enough scale are you? Are you a 1? It's barely noticeable. Are you closer to 5? Are you between 5 and 10? Are you closer to 10? It's taking over. You need to be specific with this and not let your ego take over. When I say don't let your ego take over, I mean look at it completely objectively. But wherever you are, wherever you put yourself on this worry scale of 1 to 10, fear is directing you to focus on losing your lines and the audience not laughing, which is the demise of your performance. And that's what I meant by sealing your own fate, because these have absolutely nothing to do with creating art. These are complete performance distractions. They take you out of the character, they take you out of your own body, and that's important because your body is the vessel for the character. They take you out of the present moment, they take you out of your imagination, they take you out of being able to create. You are a creative as an actor, whatever stage you're at. When you're focusing on the audience, when you're focusing on the lines that you're forgetting, you are not in a state of creativity. You are no longer creating art. If we take lines, for example, does this mean that there can never be any moments of silence in a performance? Silences that are impregnated with an intentional pause. Does this mean that we always have to be talking? Absolutely not. I've forgotten lines plenty of times on stage and whilst on set, even in auditions, and yet nobody knows. Because those moments of silence, where those lines have gone, I draw upon my relaxation exercise, and then fill the pause with an intention, an unspoken intention until that line comes back. Sometimes the most powerful moments are the moments where nothing is said. They speak volumes. So don't get caught up in this idea that when you drop a line, the performance has gone to shit, because that is not true. As a professional in the making, you can absolutely work with that moment because, as Lee Strasberg said, there is no room for distraction, only potential inspiration. So last night in class, I did an exercise. I won't go into what this exercise was, but it was an improv exercise with no script. I was demonstrating this exercise with one of my acting students for my other students to watch. In one of the moments, I simply couldn't find the right words. Yet I was still focused in the moment as an active participant, and that moment of silence became one of the most powerful moments. So stop beating yourself up when you lose a line, because you can still lose lines and still fill a moment with intention through action, and you can still be active in silence until the line comes back. This actually makes you a better actor because you have surrendered rather than panicked. You need to stop focusing on the lines that you're forgetting. You're not going to grow, or you're going to make your growth take much, much longer when you're constantly beating yourself up. You are a perfectly imperfect human. We're allowed to make mistakes. We're also allowed to learn the art of being a professional, of becoming a professional. When you start focusing on these lines that you've forgotten, you get sucked into fear. Fear empties your imagination. Fear distracts you from the truth, because fear is a distraction. Whereas surrendering to what is feeds your imagination. Surrendering puts you at one with the truth and gives you a genuine experience. And as method actors, or a method actor in the making, we are all about having a genuine experience. Now let's move on to the audience. And I mean this next bit that I'm going to say with absolute kindness. But who are you to decide how an audience responds to your performance? Why do you get to decide whether they've enjoyed it or not based on whether they laugh? It's a very humbling question, isn't it? I've seen audiences laughing their heads off in absolute delight and actors giving subpar performances. When you start focusing on how the audience is responding, we're coming from a place of ego. Ego takes you out of the performance. But there is an important lesson to this. Number one, each audience has a right to enjoy the performance in their own way, so stop judging them. Stop judging them and stop judging yourself. Number two, the key to an audience believing your performance is for them to connect with you. And the best way for them to be able to connect with you is for you to connect to each moment and the character. But if you're connected to the audience and what their response is, they can't connect with you because you're disconnected. Focusing on audiences laughing, focusing on you fudging up your lines are complete distractions. And as I've already said, they make your growth and development as an actor a complete cumbersome process. Focusing on the moment and on connecting to each moment with intention is how you develop mastery of your craft. And you can only do this by relaxing. But fear doesn't like you to relax because fear doesn't thrive when you are relaxed. But as an actor, you thrive when you are relaxed. I've coached actors for coming up to 14 years and I know this works. I know the process always has to start with relaxation. Not just relaxing before a performance, but training yourself how to relax on a regular basis. Now, it's completely up to you whether you listen to me or not. You have autonomy over your craft. But if you want to work towards mastery of your skills, which has a knock-on effect to your career taking off quicker, because obviously the two go hand in hand, I'm releasing a course very, very soon, which I've mentioned at the beginning of this episode, which is going to be free for the first 500 actors. After that, it turns to paid. It's called The Nerve Destroyer. Lose yourself in the role. It goes into everything I've spoken about in this episode and has its roots based in nerves and how we can destroy them so you can become a master of your craft. You would be doing yourself a huge favour by getting this training whilst it's free. It's pre-recorded, which means you can do the training as many times as you want until the lessons have embedded and the exercises have become second nature. I'll be announcing when it's available inside our Unstoppable Actors Facebook group. Come and join the group. I'd love to have you in there. I want you in there. I've left a link to it underneath this episode. I would also absolutely love for you to get one of these first 500 places so you can become an unstoppable actor and you can stop getting sucked into how the audience is responding and getting sucked into these lines that you might be losing, and give yourself a better chance of connecting to the moment, to the character, and to your audience. Because when you do this, when you use these exercises that I've laid out for you in this course, in this training, you show those agents and casting directors who you want on your radar that you are taking your career and your craft seriously. So come and join the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group. And of course, if you've enjoyed this episode, please do leave a rating because it lets me know what you're enjoying. And I will see you soon. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.